doing drug deals with Gibson Skylarks in Guitar City.
That's it, huh?
Yeah, man.
Nice.
It's all there.
This is a 1960 Gibson GA5T Skylark amp. It's almost completely original, and although it doesn't look like much, this thing is a total sleeper.
It's all there. Original Bugle Boy in it. The only thing I did to it, I put a knob on it for the volume. That was the only thing that was missing on it. Stick up the logo, feet. It's a Champ Killer 5Y3. So basically, it's a Champ, but it's got an EL82 in it.
Okay.
784. So, but it's 4.5 watts, 5, but it's loud. That's the thing about these. They're not weak. I don't know. There's something about them, man. They've got that kind of. To me, they have an AC, like an AC4, AC5 kind of tone. They're a little more chimey. The vibrato is very pulsy, so it's got a deep thing. And
Now, if you've been around this channel for a while, you might know that I'm not much of a gear collector. I don't have a lot of vintage pieces. I don't have a lot of the same kind of guitars or amps or pedals or things like that. But I already have a vintage Skylark. I have a 64 GA5T Skylark that I made a video on about 1.5 years ago that you can check out here. So if I already have a Skylark, why did I buy another one? Well, first of all, Dave Honorato is a bit of a guitar sensei for me. He's like my guitar Yoda. Anytime he reaches out and says, hey, I've got a piece for you I think you should buy, I pay attention. So when he reached out to me the other day and said he found a near mint first year Gibson amp, I was really interested. And then when he told me the price, I couldn't turn it down. I had to buy it. But the fact of the matter is, this isn't just a collector's piece for me. This isn't something that's just going to sit around my home studio and be nice to look at and, you know, appreciate and value. In the grand scheme of things, an amp like this is not a real investment piece. You're not going to be able to retire off of the appreciation off of a piece of gear like this. But these Gibson amps are total sleepers. They tend to fly under the radar for most players because most people want old Fenders. Granted, Fenders are worth more money, they're more collectible. But in terms of tone and playability, I think these old Gibson amps, pound for pound, are as good as the vintage Fender, Tweed, and Blackface stuff. This little GA5T here is a total champ killer. Similar type circuit, similar type layout, combo, 1x8 speaker. Same kind of sound, same kind of feel under a microphone, but this is way more attainable for most players out there than the Fender alternative. second and talk about small amps in general. Why would you want a 4.5, 5-watt combo that's essentially the size of a child's lunchbox with an 8-inch speaker in it? You're not going to be able to gig with this thing. It's not going to be loud enough to get over just about any drummer or any band situation. So what's the point? Well, the fact is, these are monster recording amps. Because you've got such a small speaker and such a low wattage circuit, you can drive the amp really, really hard on its own, and you're going to get a ton of character. See, under a microphone, these amps don't sound like they look. You've probably noticed that in this video already. If you know what you're doing, if you know how to mic an amp and you know a little bit about recording and a few fundamentals of good miking technique and EQ and mixing, you can make a small amp like this sound massive on a recording. And the reality is, players have been doing this, well, ever since these amps were new. There's plenty of examples of iconic guitar recordings by some of our guitar heroes that were recorded on amps like this. Small, little, low wattage, small speaker combos like a Champ or a Skylark or a Princeton. And because they're so small, low wattage, one small speaker, they're great for the home studio. I wouldn't say these are good apartment amps. They're still loud. This is still going to be too loud for a shared living space, a bedroom apartment situation. But in a good home studio setup, you can push this amp right to the sweet spot and still be in a reasonable volume. And because you're pushing the amp to its sweet spot, you're getting good preamp saturation, power amp saturation, and you're pushing the speaker and getting some good drive and saturation out of the speaker. You're pulling a ton of character out of the amp itself. And again, in the context of a mix, you're not really going to hear this as a small little 1x8 combo. In fact, let me throw a quick little track together to demonstrate how this thing sounds in the context of a full band. So I'd say that's a pretty versatile guitar amp. Every track I just recorded was the guitar straight into the amplifier. I was using a little bit of reverb and some delay here and there in post just to kind of give the tracks a little bit of space, but other than that, there was no added effects or anything in front of the amplifier. Now, to me, it's really impressive, the versatility of a small amp like this. I mean, this thing literally has one knob other than the tremolo control. It's just more or less, but there's such a wide variety of tones, a wide range of tonal possibilities inside this little thing, and I think that's really, really cool. Don't sleep on these little Gibson amps. And Gibson, if you're watching, please reissue these amps. Do this. Do a reissue line of Skylarks. People will buy them. I will buy one, even though I have two already, but still. Fender has been doing this for years, and they're really good at it, and they sell these little amps hand over fist. I think it's high time that Gibson got into this market. Make these little amps. Make them hand-wired in the USA, make them look like this, make them sound like this. I think you have a really, really cool product on your hands if you start to do something like this. Bring the old stuff back. Now, there are a few tweaks that I want to make to this thing, namely the speaker. I want to replace the speaker with a modern one. Not because I don't like it. I really love the tone of the original, but I want to keep the original speaker. And one of the great things that I want to be able to do with a small amp like this is hit it with fuzz pedals, with octave pedals, and just get it to where it sounds like it's going to explode. But I'm afraid the stock original 60-year-old speaker isn't up to that task. So I'm probably going to get something, just a little 8-inch replacement Alnico speaker to go in there to use and abuse, essentially. The other thing is the tremolo circuit is a little unreliable. In fact, while I was recording, the tremolo just sort of stopped working. So I'm going to have to take this to an amp tech and have them look at that because I want the tremolo. I don't know if you heard at the top of the video, but that tremolo was super deep and almost 3-dimensional, and I want that in this amp. So, moral of the story is, don't sleep on the small amps. You may look at this and think it's not that usable or versatile, but trust me, they really, really are. And try and get one of these before the prices go up on Reverb. Now, the track I just recorded, I'm going to make available as a backing track for my Green Room supporters only. If you want to sign up for the Green Room, you can find links to that down in the description box down below. And also, today, while filming this video, we finally released a new series of signature slides from the Rock Slide. I've been working with the guys at the Rock Slide for months and months on these. We have a few different options available, including this amber glass option, an aged brass, and a nickel slide. If you're looking for a good all-around slide to do a little bit of everything, that's what we designed this thing to do. So these will be linked in the description box down below, as well as the other gear that I used to make this video, like these mics. That will all be affiliate links, so if you buy something through that link, I earn a small commission, which really helps me out in making these videos. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, @Rhett, subscribe to my YouTube channel here, and let me know what you think about this little amp. Did I make a good purchase? I mean, I think I did. It's not like people are going to tell me otherwise, but still. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Rhett. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and remember, there is no plan B.